live. Yes. Coming to you live. Right here at the Elevation Time Studios. As we begin to take this new journey into the sacred space. Are you ready? Are you ready? If you're ready, say yes. If you feel it, say yes. You're listening to the brand new release of Sonic Immersion 3, just now out. Released just hours ago on YouTube. This one is called Udu Restoration Rhythm. The instrument that I'm playing is called an Udu. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. What about that? There we go. An Udu pot. It's a clay pot. Actually, I'm playing 3 of them there. There's one in the middle that looks like a pyramid. It's a clay pot that you can place water in, but it has 2 openings. And when you play the openings, it says Udu, Udu, Udu. That's the basis of this whole groove. It's about restoration. It's about rejuvenation, reconciliation. It's about revival. There's a bit of history that I'd like to share about this instrument called Udu. They originally were played by women in the area that's now known of West Africa or Nigeria. Other places too, but mainly Nigeria. The women were not allowed to play drums. That was wooden, bodies with animal skins. And the women would carry water because you only wanted women to carry water because water will be impregnated with the vibration of the person that carries it. And the women who also made the pots cut a hole in the side. And as they played it, you could hear the air moving like a liquid inside. And they began to play those, and guess what? They were not technically drums. They were water pots. The sound that they emit is like water whooshing through a clay pot. So many, many years ago, it became one of my favorite instruments. We use it on a lot of our medicine music tracks, but we've never featured it out front like this. I'm playing many, many instruments in this track because everything is being led by the 6/8 timing of the oud pot. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the whole thing, then you can go to YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. A lot of you are actually on it now, and subscribe. There also is a Sonic Immersion 1, which we did, I think, at the end of last year. And this is Sonic Immersion 2. And I'm now working on Sonic Immersion 3. Many of you are familiar with sound baths. And when we think of sound baths, we think of, using the singing bowls or the toning bowls, or some people call them frequency bowls. But there is a whole nother level to it than just the bowls. There's the rhythms. Sonic immersion rhythms. Tone and frequencies that reform your energy field. They rejuvenate your energy field. So this is like a chronic, a chakra. Chronic chakra as a new one. The chronic chakra tune-up. Please go check it out and also join our YouTube channel. I'd like to thank all of you who have joined us here on this amazing Thursday evening. All of you who have made your journeys in life and have brought you to this particular place, congratulations. You have made it to the place of elevation. For those of you who are here for the first time, if you're here for the first time, put it in the chat room that you're here for the first time, and let us also know how you found out about it. And if you've been here before, let us know how long you've been coming and traveling and attending and participating in Elevation Time. Did you hear about us from the Carl Nelson Show? Was it the Black Magic Show? Forbidden Knowledge? Or many of the other programs that we have been on over the years? If you're coming back, I'd like to welcome you back. If you're here for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a beautiful time. It's your time if you choose it. If you're waiting to be chosen, you'll never be chosen. We must and go into the restoration vibe, where our body goes into self-healing, our minds go into self-healing, where we begin to choose the new us. Elect and select ourselves. Vote, 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 vote for ourselves. Yes, some people heard us on the Omarion project. Omarion, I did a track for Omarion called Elevation. Some of you may have heard that song with Brother Omarion. Yes, I see people have been here for 3 years. Anybody here brand new? If you're here brand new, then welcome. So what I'm going to do now is ask a few questions. Tonight we're going to go a little deep. We're not going to be on here that long, but long enough for you to begin to make the choice of your new path, or completing the path you're on, or adding to whatever you're going through. I'd like to thank those of you who voted at the Forbidden Knowledge Conscious Awards. I was never expecting to win Spiritual Leader of the Year, but I have accepted it. I'm doing my best to do my best, to do my best. Is it okay with you that we emit information tonight that you may have never heard before? Would that be okay? If that's okay, put yes in the chat room. And would it be okay if we make it a little fun and possibly even highly spirited tonight? Would that be okay? And would it be okay if we discuss some things that might be a little unnerving, that may cause some agitation in your mind, in your body? Would it be okay if we share some information that could actually help you change your timeline, change your perspective, or reinforce the perspective that you have? Is it okay? We'd like everybody here to choose themselves. Give yourself priority. And each day, give yourself a permission slip. A slip to move and slide into a flow state that changes everything. To let go of yesterday, yesteryear, and yesterness. There's a new word, yesterness. Is it okay if we allow the energies that are inherent in the universe to flow through us and no longer block? Would that be okay? Give yourselves a permission slip to restore. Give yourself permission to let go. Are you willing and ready to give yourself a gift in this, what they call holiday season? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we've got lots of people in the room. It's beautiful to see you all. We're going to cover several things tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit about medicine music and music as medicine. We're going to talk a little bit about our class that's coming up on Saturday, The Body Never Lies, Class 3. We're also going to discuss just a little bit about things that we should be eating and consuming in this season. This is the holiday season because this is the harvest season. The harvest season is time to be thankful for what we've harvested through the year. Now, some of the fruit and some of the vegetables that we harvest, we have to let them go. They're not, suitable for eating. Some of the ideas, feelings, and emotions and things that we've gathered through the year, we have to let them go. We have to fertilize them, let them become fertilizer, vaporize, turn them into ashes and ashes and dust to dust. All fall down. So this is the time when you have food growing that's amazing, that's preparing us for the winter. When we go inward, down into our roots, down into ourselves. That's what fall and then winter is all about. So this track, we decided to put it out now because the vibration was right to help carry us through this season. We're going to have another version of it soon. We don't have it yet. It will be on the website because some folks are saying, can we get this without the YouTube commercials? Well, there'll be another version that we will be putting out really soon. It'll be just the music though. It won't be the video, which some folks, that's what they really want, is the music. The video is just a additive. So the question is, what do you desire? What do you truly desire in life? I mean, truly, what do you desire? Not what do others desire, and not what other people's expect of you. Yourself, by yourself, with yourself, being an indivisible individual by yourself first, for yourself first, with yourself first, putting yourself first. Now, for some of us, that's a challenge, putting ourselves first, because we have been immersed in a type of chronic servitude syndrome, where we feel we must always give it all away. This is about you. So as the song winds up, think about what you desire. Put that in your mind. What you truly desire. What is your goal? Once we choose a goal or a destination for ourselves, devoid of what other folks expect of us, we truly change our timelines. In the past, we may have been on other people's timelines, living in other people's dimension, and that was okay. But as we descend deeper and deeper into fall, it would be best to do like the trees and let your leaves fall. So the leaves of the tree have been collecting sunlight and helping to convert the sunlight and activate the chlorophyll, which activates the minerals, which activates the sugar of the tree. The tree instinctively knows, based on the position of the sun, when to let the leaves go. So we might think of leaves as being the past. We might think of leaves as being things that we need to let go of. So once we become like the trees and we're able to let those leaves fall, if you leave those leaves alone, they become fertilizer. You know, we've been told to rake up the leaves, they're ugly. But technically, if you leave those leaves there, they become fertilizer for the tree, and they support all kinds of life that would live under those leaves. And by fall, by spring, most of the time, those leaves are just about gone. They've been digested by the earth. Once we let go of a lot of the things from our past, especially things that are challenging, things that may be traumatic, or experiences that are less than, something pleasing or good or agreeable. If we let them go, they become fertilizer. If we let them fall. Once you do that and let go of the disagreeable past and stop playing the drums of the past, stop singing the songs of the past and telling the stories of the disagreeable past over and over and over, everything changes. There are nerves and neurons that replace and repair broken nerves and neurons. There's feelings and ideas that replace the old ones. There are genes that repair broken genes. Did you know that? Once you allow yourself to live in the moment, which is not always easy, it's a challenge because we're so programmed by the old system to keep us on the farm, to keep us in the old world, to keep us in trauma, to keep us repressed, depressed, suppressed. It is a challenge. Many times we're in judgment about things and we judge others. That affects your cellular structure. That affects your goals in life. And goals are powerful once you know what they are and where you're going. We have to become goal-minded. That means your goals are your goal mind, your treasure map. We need to create a treasure map and a pleasure map to help us get to the place that we desire. What is your true destination? What is the point? When you speak, what is the point? When you get up in the morning, what is the point? What is your point? Keep in mind that every journey is built on course correction. Course correction. Because as we're moving towards whatever we're moving towards, disease, illness, imbalance, pain may pop up because everything is connected to its opposite. There's only 1 degree of separation between up and down. Did you know that? There's only 1 degree of separation between good and bad. Did you know that? Did you know there's only 1 degree of separation between up and down? Are you aware of that? So as you're moving towards your goal, there's going to be trials and tribulations to test you. There's going to be challenges to test you. There's going to be things that will attempt to arrest you. But to truly master something, you must be tested. if you're learning to play an instrument, at first you're hitting many, many wrong notes, maybe all bad notes, until you practice and practice. And see, it's the repetition. It's the repetition. And many times we fail, but if we fail forward and fall forward and move forward, because we're just stumbling or tripping. But to stumble or trip does not mean to fall down and stay down. You got to get back up. I have studied music and sounds and frequencies for a very long time. I was born into music. It was music all around me as a child. And as a child, I chose a goal. I chose a destination. My thing was to be a musician. To help people through music and sound and frequency. And even though many times I've had to fall down, I've had to get jobs, I had to do so many things, and there were so many things challenging me, losing instruments, losing this and gaining and losing back and forth. But I keep in mind that 90% of every journey is course correction. I was talking to our new publicist, who actually is our old publicist, who I met in the 80s, and now she's popped back up. And we've worked together off and on, but she just popped up and she said, Dr. B, what's happening with your publicity? People need to know. I said, what do they need to know? That you are the father of frequency music. I was like, huh? She says, listen, in 1999 and before, you were doing this thing that everybody's doing now, the healing music and the healing sounds and the vibrations and the solfeggio frequencies and the 432s. You've been doing this a long time. I was like, I didn't really think of it like that. She says, so we now need to let the people know. Let's put out the music. Let's put out all those tracks, all those sounds, all those frequencies, and let the world know. So we decided we recently did a project called Transcendence, and we did it in Atlanta. It was amazing. Oh, that was transformative. People who came, they still write and talk to us and said that changed everything. It changed our course. Because sound is everything. The universe is sound. We live in an orchestra. Your body is an instrument. It depends on how you play it. That means how you talk, how you eat, what you do, when you do it. Everything is part of a musical field. The cosmos is music. It's an orchestra. They called it an orchestra. Or has to do with gold. Aura used to be the first note of the musical scale. Aura. Someone conveniently decided to change that note into do. So the scale now do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And there's do on the beginning and do on the end, which in Latin, that note means money. Look it up. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is Latin. And once you look at the Latin roots of it, you're going to be like, wow. So what I'm doing in these musical pieces, the medicine music projects that are on our website at elevationtime.com, what we're doing is putting the ura back. We're putting the original feminine frequency back. There's an original feminine frequency, that may have been removed by those who chose to try to control the world. We're changing that. Never mind what's happening in politics. Never mind who you think is in the White House, the Black House, the governors, the managers, and all of those people who you think are in control. They're only in control if you let them be in control. You've got to focus now. This time is getting us to focus on letting go of victimhood, letting go of the old archetypes and the old programs. in the old algorithm. We must individually break free from that. The question is, are you ready? And to do that, you're going to need to begin to sing a new song. Even food is all about vibration. It's frequencies. Some of the food that you're eating, the frequency throws you off. It's like a sour note in music. It's like an off rhythm. Some of your food is saying, hey, don't eat me. But because of how we're programmed to eat at certain times, like most of these holidays. You know, we got this holiday coming up, Thanksgiving. And the roots of it are pretty deep. But you can do some alchemy and change that if you need to. Because I'm not saying don't go and celebrate. I'm saying you need to vibrate your cells based on what you're celebrating. Are you celebrating yourself? Are you moving towards having a sound mind and body? A sound. They ask you, is he of sound mind? They ask you that. Is your mind sound? Is your mind putting out frequency? Are they sacred frequencies that are connected to nature, or are they off frequencies that are connected to mechanics and digital and artificial intelligence and stories and limericks and things that actually are not helping you, and you must let them go and be like leaves and let them go? Let them find their destiny. Let the dead bury their dead. Are you ready to do that? You must allow yourself to be yourself. And when you allow, you just let it happen. Allow the things that you desire to come through. Allow the music frequencies that are already there. This thing about healing frequencies is not new. They're just natural frequencies. You want a sound bath, go outside and listen to the crickets. Listen to the ocean, listen to the leaves, listen to the wind and the trickling of the water through a creek or a river. Listen to the sounds of the wind. That's your sound bath. Not just this thing that you go do and people sit around and they have the bowls. That's great. But the original sound bath was to be bathed in nature. Those are the frequencies. The earth is the frequency. And earth is not a high vibration, it's a low vibration. Don't get tricked into the talk about the high vibration all the time. You, right, being the conductor, a superconductor, must use all of the vibrations. Sometimes you need to go to the low vibration and get back to the earth. Sometimes you can go to the high vibrations and just be up in Father Sky. But Mother Earth and Father Sky are attempting to make love through you. Heaven and earth is created based on us. We must create heaven on earth in us. Earth is your heart. Take the letters and move them around. You'll see it. Even the sun makes a sound. The moon makes a sound. Did you know that? If you listen carefully, when you get out of the mass distraction and all the noise, turn off your modem, take off your watch for a minute, turn off your computer and your phone, and be bathed in the naturalness of silence. Silence is not silent. Did you know SI in a word means stars? Sirius means star. Siri means star. Look how they got now. Siri, they calling the voice in your phone a star. Because it becomes the star for you. Because that's what you're focusing on. We're instruments. And as you listen to this new track, this new sound, the sonic immersion, let me find it right now. As you listen to the medicine music sounds that we have available at elevationtime.com. Have a goal. Have a goal mine, a path, something you're moving towards. If you have aches and pains, or if you're going through states of illness, which everybody is, whether you think it or not, just because you work out and you think that you're vegan and you eat the best, if you're breathing this air, then you are involved in entities that if you're not focused, they will take you off course. If you're going through illness, we must tap into nature. Go as natural as you can. I'm not saying to stop taking your prescription medicines. We're not saying to not do the operation if you have to, but get lots of opinions before you let them do that. Read the side effects. And don't just read the top side effects on a drug or a prescription. Go down to the bottom where it says the lesser known side effects. And you realize that these are not just side effects, they are the effects. And we're not saying that in emergencies, you should not take some medicine that you got from your physical doctor in emergencies. We're not saying that. We're saying that there are traditional medicines that are earth medicines. Breathing deeply. Drinking fresh water. I'm not talking about this, what do they call it? Alkaline water. That went through some electrical device that tears the water apart. Most spring water is naturally alkaline. In fact, we started testing water all across the country, and most tap water is alkaline. I'm not saying it's clean. Alkaline and clean is two different things. And what good is it you drinking alkaline water, eating alkaline food, but having an acidic personality? Think about that. You're attempting to be healthy, but you've got an unhealthy attitude. Somebody mentioned electrolytes. Yeah, it's best to take your spring water or any water and put just maybe a few granules of Celtic sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, just a little bit. You don't want it to taste too salty. Or take a little Celtic sea salt or Himalayan sea salt and put it on your tongue. You got to be careful because, magnesium, these are things are high in magnesium, these salts. And salt is a water-hungry molecule. It sucks water into it. So to get the most magnesium, put the salt directly on your tongue. Then drink your water, because that magnesium that's in those naturally balanced salts goes right into your system. Those salts that come from the ocean, they're usually balanced with magnesium, calcium, sodium, and many other minerals. There's many, many minerals in the ocean. And a plant that has almost more minerals than any is kelp, sea kelp. Yeah, Irish moss has a lot. Certain planktons and things have a lot. Who forgot about kelp? Kelp is the rock star. I'm not saying that the others don't work. Kelp is the rock star. But put a little salt in your water. And also, when people are talking to you about things, you need to take it with a grain of salt. What do they mean when they say that? That means that if you put a grain of salt on your tongue, it changes the electrical impulses of your body. Just a little bit of it, because the body says, let's open up all of our receptors to receive these minerals, to receive new information. See, a lot of times you get all salty when somebody says something. You get all caught up in other people's stuff because they've got an attitude. Now you got an attitude, and now we're adding to the tudes, and then all of a sudden this becomes our new, cancer-like activity. So if you are dealing with any type of physical imbalance or dis-ease, we start with breathing, water. Not water in plastic, because that water has microplastics, or it is outgas. That gas that makes that plastic that's in there, right, is going to outgas into your water. So you're drinking plastic and water. We don't need any more microplastics in our bodies. So breathing and grounding, you can put your naked feet on the ground outside, or grab a tree. And if there's nothing else, you can actually do it on concrete. It's not going to be as full of an electrical charge, because the ionization effect of the earth is powerful, and it just changes the ions. It takes a lot of the what we call positive ions out of the body and replaces them with negative ions. Negative ions actually cause agreeable effects. We need more negative ions. A lot of folks are dealing with heart disease. Their rhythm of the heart is off, or the tissue of the heart, or the blood vessels is unbalanced. There's an herb that a lot of folks use for heart issues. It's called hawthorn berry, and hawthorn leaf. That's good. But if you've got other things in your body that are actually causing this, there's a bunch of things that we need to do, rather than just take that one herb, because a lot of times we hear one herb is going to do it. One herb is going to fix your heart. Well, listen, one herb may not do much, because there's so many other challenges going on in the body. There's so many imbalances. If you've got heart disease, we got to check the kidneys, the liver, the spleen. We got to check your thinking. What are you thinking about? Listen to the music. Check out the music that people who are going through illness may be listening to. Check it out. Go get some healing music. Somebody in your house is going through something, grandma, grandpa, or yourself. Go start listening to music that resets your cells, because your cells are listening. They have receptors on them, which are antennas. They're like ears. They're listening to what's happening in the environment. The cell membrane is full of these little antennas. Every cell has receptors on it. And these receptors are tuned. Some are tuned to salt. Some are tuned to sour. Some are tuned to metals or irons or different minerals. The body is like a tuning fork, listening to the environment. And sometimes if you're going through illness, we have to change the environment. At least a little bit. Go out to nature sometime. Take grandma or whoever's going through an illness out to the side of the river, or outside to the grass. You don't have to even do this often. Just a little bit goes a long way. They say heart disease is the #1 killer. Why is that? Because a lot of people are not doing what truly is in their hearts, and their rhythm is off. Then we eat food, right? Because your rhythm is off. Usually you're not going to eat foods in the season. Your rhythm is off. Your music is off. Your vibration is off. If the earth on your where you are right now is fall, then you need to have the rhythm and the song and the frequencies, through your food, through everything that you're eating and your activities based on the season. So right now, in the northern side of the planet, we're in fall, so we should be eating pea foods that begin with P. Pears, pumpkins, pomegranate, papaya, plantain, passion fruit, parsley, purple potatoes, parsnips, persimmons, purple cabbage, pistachios, and plums. There's more. That's just a few. Do I have more on this page? Let's see. Go with the pea foods. Pick the pea foods, the pea funk. If somebody in the house is going through certain illnesses, maybe we need to put some plants in the house. One of the great plants they have in the house is called the snake plant. It's got long, slender, leaves. It puts oxygen in the air, helps to ionize the air. Interesting thing that's really deep. Did you know that the marijuana plant can cleanse the air in your house? It will rejuvenate the air every 24 hours. If you had a marijuana plant in your house. Now, it's a little challenging to grow it in the house because it needs sunlight, but there's some people that know how to grow them in the house. There's ways to do it, but they demonized it. If you're dealing with diabetes, you're going to have to do some things that are based around love. Yeah, pumpkin. Somebody said pumpkin. Yeah, that wasn't on this list. I have a couple lists. This is just one of them. Let's go to this other slide. Let's see some of the other foods. Dates are right now really good. Muscadine grapes, mustard, turnip greens, beet juice mixed with ginger, cilantro, green banana, fresh jackfruit, mamey fruit from the sapote family, all berries, all root vegetables, really good at this time of the year. Elderberries, hibiscus, vitamin D3, vitamin B complex. I love the one by Jarrow. It's called Be Right by Jarrow. Magnesium glycinate, cayenne pepper, organic raw coconut oil, quercetin, which is from the skins of things like oranges and lemons and onions. They have this substance called quercetin, which is really great for your immune system. Barley grass, much better if you are a carbonated person, or I should say a carbon-based person, to use barley grass versus wheatgrass. Wheatgrass can be acidic, and most of the wheat that we're eating is highly hybridized. Spirulina, chlorella. You can get spirulina and chlorella together. If you're going through any illness, any of these major illnesses, let's start there. And I'm going to go back to wheatgrass for a minute, and let's just go to wheat. Are you aware that the most popular wheat used in America, I think it's called hard red wheat? I think that's the name. Did you know that this wheat has the highest gluten and is one of the highest hybrid cloned things? And it resists certain types of mold and certain types of bugs, but that gluten is a ton of glue. If your digestive tract is all sticky with glue and paste from pastries, and that wheat that you're eating is causing you to be sticky inside, you don't digest very well. But you can also find the soft winter wheat. It's a little more expensive. The soft winter wheat. Look for it. Some of your natural health food stores have it. And that's the wheat that they're using overseas. That's why people over there eating bread and all kinds of stuff. And they don't get all bloated and have all these illnesses because they're not eating the gluten wheat that's actually shutting down our system. We can't ever heal by using that wheat. I think it's called soft winter wheat or white winter wheat. No, I think it's soft winter wheat. And some people using cassava flour. We must be careful with cassava because cassava is trying to protect itself from bugs and mold. So cassava may not be good for everybody. So another thing to keep in mind is we have to choose what's best for us. That's what the class is about on Saturday. The body never lies, which is what our kinesiology class is about, our muscle testing, because you can test the food because it may be great for your friend, but it may not be great for you. And just because you saw it on the list that this is what we're supposed to eat, you don't know if that's attuned with your body. And I'm not talking about your blood type. I'm talking about your biotype. There's a whole nother level of this. Eating right for your blood type. That's like some science that has a theory that don't work for everybody. Because when I ate for my blood type, I was like, I couldn't even make it. I was like, whoa, all the things that I was allergic to were things that, it said to eat on my blood type diet. If it works for you. But once again, it's about muscle testing and learning the keys in kinesiology to test for what foods are for you. If you're going through illness, and there's a lot of people here who's going through certain illnesses, you've got to be able to eat what's right for you. The easiest way to do it is to learn the personal kinesiology that we'll be teaching class number 3 on Saturday. Don't forget, go get class number 1, elevationtime.com. Go get class number 1 for the personal kinesiology. This is probably the most powerful tool for making the proper choice for you. You are individual. You can't do what everybody else does. Everybody can't be vegan. Everybody can't be breatharian, fruitarian. Some folks do the caveman diet. I forgot what they call it. Bone broth. Oh boy, this is great for humans. All humans are not the same. We're a conglomerate of all different beings. And some of us have energies that are being beamed in from other planets. How many of y'all out there right now know that your energy is being beamed in from a star? So choosing what's right for you. Yes, you can get class number 3 and go back and get class 1 and 2. It's up to you. You don't have to, get 1 and 2 to take 3. I'd be there on Saturday, this Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can begin to choose what's for you. Back to diabetes. Most illnesses start in the mind. The mind is the first medicine. Your mind is the first medicine. But your mind is also the first disease. How you're thinking, what you're around, who you're around. When I was deep in the music business, I was extremely successful. Some of you know me from back in the days as a record producer. Yeah, I had a different name. People say, well, what's your real name? This is my real name now, because if I start calling that character up, we got new problems. So I kind of let him go. He may come back sometime, but that's the old me. That's he. I'm Dr. B Sirius now. That's a different vibration, a different sound, a different voice. Diabetes. What's really good for diabetes is okra. Okra. Especially if you take okra, maybe 4 or 5 of them, cut the tips off and put them in a jar with water, maybe like a pint, and let them sit and drink some of that water every day. Begins to rejuvenate not only your pancreas, but the receptors on your cells, which are looking for sugar. A lot of folks have diabetes because they encountered a virus, and the virus may have damaged the receptors on their cells. So it doesn't know when there's sugar in the bloodstream or too much or not enough, because you do need sugar to live. I'm talking about not processed white sugar, but your body needs it needs sugar, those glycogens. Your brain needs more natural sugar than any other organ. But white processed sugar shuts your brain down. Did you know this? Somebody said on the internet, they're really upset because I made this statement with Elizabeth Carter and Billy Carson on Biohack Your Best Life the other day. Folks are pissed. There's a whole argument going on IG about what I said. You could tell who's hooked on sugar because folks be mad. I said a tablespoon of processed sugar shuts your brain down for 48 hours. Oh, man. There's a storm over there on that one. Oh, this guy doesn't know. He says, where's his receipts? Where's your receipts? What are you talking about, receipts? Where's the proof? Why is he saying this guy's on cocaine? Because I talked about how cocaine and sugar cane are very closely related, and they are. Just listen to the cane at the end. Why are they saying cane? Did you know the word shut down does not mean turn off? I said it shuts down. It turns it down. Wow. Listen to what he said. He said it shuts it down. It turns it down. That means you go into autonomic functions and you begin to do automatic things because the forebrain, right? It doesn't have all the energy. Your cognition is off because the sugar, which your brain needs lots of, begins to turn off the proper functioning of your hypothalamus, which is the organ which creates balance in the body. It's looking to create homeostasis. It's balancing temperature. It's the connection between your nervous system and your glandular system. It's an interface between those two. It lets you know when you've had enough of something automatically. A lot of us don't know when we've had enough of something because we've had so much sugar that our hypothalamus is damaged. It can be repaired. That sugar, that processed sugar, it's going to shut down your pineal. Never mind all this calcification. It's the sugar. And of course, the fluoride that's in the water, which may soon be gone. Because fluoride causes calcium deposits on all of your glands. Fluoride. One of the most toxic things ever. Your pineal is your connection to the cosmos. That's how you know how to know when and when to know how. If your pineal was on and working correctly and not impaired because of the sugar high that it's on, you would know. You'd know on the event horizon. You'd be a precog. You'd know things before they happen. You'd know when to leave, when to be quiet, when to shut up. And it's connected directly to the gut brain. Did you know that? And it's not your third eye. Who told you that? That's another trick. So you put it in the back and you trust these other two eyes before you trust your first eye, which is your pineal, because it forms first. But you trust your lion eyes, which have been getting tricked and photoshopped all your life. You don't know what you're seeing because you don't have enough of the visual spectrum to know what you're really seeing, because there's so many dimensions and so many different vibrations that you can't see that a bee can see. Birds can see. Certain insects that have a different level of sight. We're looking to see all the time. Your feeling is actually stronger than your seeing, window. But the thing is that a lot of our feelings are based on the past and they're already jaded. They're already tainted. That sugar also is going to affect your pituitary, which helps to put out oxytocin, which is the love hormone, the connection hormone. So love for a lot of people is a noun. It's not even a verb. Most of our system is attempting to repair itself most of the time. If you start feeding it what it needs, and the first thing it needs is minerals. Minerals. If you had enough minerals, you could survive on minerals alone, because that's all the body's doing. And those minerals are causing most of the cascades and most of the transmutation and change and digestion and all of these things. The body is made of minerals and water. Magnesium helps to create and to direct most of what you call your hormones. Magnesium. It's very important. Where are you getting it from? Are you getting enough magnesium? What type of magnesium? If it's magnesium oxide, it's really good for your colon, helps you go to the restroom. But is that oxide good for you? Because things that say oxide and oxide and all those things, they may be too hard or may be too abrasive for your system. Notice I said maybe, because maybe you from the planet where that's good for you. Once you take the class, right? The body never lies, and learn the muscle testing, you'll know what type of magnesium you. It's like, well, how many magnesiums? 8, maybe more. That's why I mentioned magnesium glycinate, because that one is kind of neutral. If you're having an issue with your pancreas and diabetes, magnesium is extremely important. But iron is important too. Nascent iron. That's iron that's been broken down by plants. Very small particles of iron, not big chunky pieces of rust, which is the ferric oxide, and a lot of the iron that you may get from, the pharmacy or from the doctor, or even sitting on the counter, at the store that you think is a natural vitamin. There's many different types of iron. So for diabetes, we're going to take the okara and cut the tips off and drink at least a half a glass of that water a day. And here's another one for diabetes. Get you some organic green beans. Cut the tips off and eat 3 of them every day. 3 every day. Folks have seen this to be like a miracle between the okra water, right, and the green beans. There's something in the green beans that helps to reset the pancreas and help to rebuild the receptors on the cells. I'm not saying it's going to fix everything, but it's going to begin to put you back on course. Remember I said every journey is about course correction. A lot of people have high blood pressure. Now, the truth is they moved the marker for high blood pressure years ago. They changed it to include more people. Some people are born with high blood pressure, and that's the pressure that they need. Oh, God, you could die immediately. That's what they told me. Oh, you could die immediately. I said, well, look, we got to go back to like 8 years old, because that was the first time I got my blood pressure checked as far as I know. And they said it was high then. So how long has it been high? Oh, no, you could die. You could have a stroke. If I start believing that, and if I eat a certain way, and if I'm stressed out, yes. But if you had enough seaweed in your body, did you know you could have little tears and little breaks in your blood vessels, especially in your brain? If you had enough of the natural seaweed, it would repair itself really quickly. Did you know that? Did you know that glutamate, which is in natural seaweed, will help repair tissues really quickly, especially brain tissue? Glutamate. But if you're using, MSG, monosodium, 1 molecule of sodium, or whatever they're calling it, glutamate, then that's stripped of everything but that sodium. It's real salty. It's flavor enhancer. Those are the excitotoxins, those food additives, preservatives, excitotoxins. They cause your nerves to go and flash, and they cause your nerves to fire so quickly they begin to die just in hours. Are you aware of that? So seaweeds, dulse, very good. Wakame. What's the other one? Aramake. How do you say it? Some of those I may not be pronouncing correctly. A lot of folks have high blood pressure because their kidneys are clogged, or their kidneys are not working correctly because the islets inside of the kidneys are clogged. Is that what they're called? Islets? There's always a doctor who calls me, well, you didn't say it right, doctor. Not islets. They're actually, okay. We get too technical. Let's get back down to earth. Earth is not so technical. Kidneys. For your kidneys, nettle. Nettle is very important for the kidneys. But what you know was even more important for the kidneys? Nettle seed. Nettle seeds. Eat a tablespoon every day. And eat nettle root, or make nettle root tea and nettle leaf. Nettle also is going to give you the magnesium that you need, or not really the magnesium unless it grows in nutrient dense magnesium soil, but you will get the chlorophyll from nettle. Very powerful plant. And with these things that I'm mentioning, a lot of them are in our products. There's nettle in almost every product that I have ever created. But stress and being angry all the time and upset and being bothered by everything. What did Omarion say? He's unbothered. That's a challenge, to not let things affect us so deeply, especially if it's in the news and it's on blast and it's every few minutes they're telling you how bad it is. And oh boy, the world's going to be over soon. Ever since I got on earth, they've been saying the same thing. It's almost over. It used to be, oh boy, there's going to be an atomic war. And they had this thing, duck and cover. If there's an atomic blast, get under your desk at school. Get under my desk. Have you seen what an atomic blast does? You think the desk is going to help me? Or was that from the earthquakes? Oh boy, it's going to be an earthquake. We're in California. Earthquakes are coming. Earthquakes. They have more earthquakes on the East Coast than they do on the West Coast. Are you aware of that? They're just smaller. They're little pieces, but the whole East Coast is crumbling. Did you know that? There's no safe place. You got to do what you can where you are. People call me all the time. Well, Dr. B, such and such gave me herpes. You know what gave you herpes? Do you have any idea what gave you herpes? Chicken. It's called chicken pox. A disease from chickens. You know, we live in a chicken society. Every chicken is a chicken shop everywhere. I'm not telling you not to eat chicken. I'm saying maybe you need to do a muscle test to see if this chicken ain't going to take you out, because the ghost of that chicken may come and pluck your feathers. Use a mother plucker eating that chicken. That's a new one, the mother plucker. Why you mother plucker? And a lot of people got the chicken pox shot. We all got the chicken pox shot. When we were, back in the 60s, you had to get it. They got us in line down at the firehouse. And they had this other thing. They would put these yellow drops on on a sugar cube and tell you to eat it. At the firehouse, there was a nurse. C&H sugar in the box, or Domino sugar, the cubes. You're going to put something that's good for me on a piece of sugar when it's one of the most poisonous, addictive things in the world? Wow. But a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, because the sugar shuts down your natural brain responses. You can't think. So I'm going to talk about some of the herbal products a little later, where you can actually clean your system up, because if you are in fall, this is the time for seasonal detoxification. Yeah, we got a discount code. Somebody's asking, do you have a discount code? Let me give it to you now. Everything on the website, you will get 10% off at elevationtime.com by using this code. The code is Elevate Now, all one word, Elevate Now, for your 10% off discount code. I think that's going to be good till Sunday. This is your pre-Black Friday. I typically don't do Black Friday sales when I found out the history of Black Friday and where it came from. Okay. I'd rather do Cyber Monday or, personal savings Tuesday, whatever. But yeah, I don't, some of these things where they're stimulating you to go rush out and buy things sometimes that you don't even need and tell you that it's on sale when actually it was on sale when they made it and they raised the price up and now they're dropping it back down to the original price and telling you to go out and get it. And sometimes you're getting things that you don't even really desire, don't even need, you just want. Okay. Yes, the discount code is Elevate Now, 10% off of all the products. And if you join the membership, you'll get another 10% off of everything you buy. Everything. It's funny. Some people, they go join the membership and then they get their discount. They get, now they're getting 20% off because if you use the code, you get 10%. If you're a member, you get 10%. But then all of a sudden they cancel their membership because they feel like, well, I don't really need the rest of the stuff. Oh boy. So then they want to get back in the membership. And the membership algorithm says, well, you quit twice. We're not going to keep letting you in because the algorithm, I'm not doing this. I don't even create the plugin that does it. It looks for people that keep quitters. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm saying do what you desire. We're not trying to make you do anything. We're not trying to make you a follower. We're looking to create leaders. Are you ready to become a leader? And to become a leader, you're going to have to do, as the man said in the store, get away from the candy counter. All these children after school were in the 7-Eleven on the West Coast, and I was standing there paying for my food, and all these children from high school came in, or junior high, and they were all over by the candy counter. And the Indian man behind the counter said, kids, get away from the candy counter. Get away from the candy counter. I guess they might have been stealing, and the camera couldn't see what they were doing. Get away from the candy counter. Do you know if you could get away from the candy counter in your life, it would be, powerful? Did you know in Australia, when the Europeans came and were trying to take over the Aboriginal people, take their land, take their whatever, they began to feed the children candy. They would leave candy by the roads. And these children had never eaten candy. And when they ate candy, they began to forget who they were, because that's what this processed sugar does. So at dinner time, they would purposely leave candy by the road. So the children would not be sitting with the family at dinner time when the people would be talking together, learning the griots. The elders would be speaking about how it is to create, you know what I'm saying, in our society and be in oneness at one with the village. The children are gone. They're at the candy counter. They're out getting candy, counting the candy along the side of the road, shutting down their cognition. It didn't say it turns off the brain. It shuts it down. It turns it down. So now you're like in automatic mode. You're like an Autobot. You can't think for yourself because now you're craving sugar because it is so addictive that the children can't get off it. So they have left the family to go eat more sugar given to them by the Euro man. Wasn't no Euro women. It was the Euro man. And all of a sudden, the next generation of children are hooked on sugar. And who gives them the sugar? The candy man. The candy man can. A lot of the information you receive in the world is sugared down. The information sounds sweet and it sounds good, but it's not based in anything factual. So if you're going through any illness, we got to get you off processed sugar and start using sea salt because it's more balanced. Start drinking water. Get the best water you can get and put just a little bit of sea salt in it because you need those electrolytes. Another great source of electrolytes is coconut water. If you drink one coconut every hour, it will replenish the blood in your body. One coconut every hour helped to replenish the bloods of people who needed transfusions all over the world. This is known in many parts around the equator. One coconut, young coconut, not the coconut milk, the coconut water. Drink that water every hour. In fact, that's a way of fasting too. Drink one coconut water every hour. And then you could scoop out that jelly coconut. Oh my gosh, that's one of the most nutritious things. It's soothing to your digestive tract. And the oil that's in it, it's got a bit of oil go straight to your brain, because your brain needs different types of cholesterol. They got this cholesterol lie, which is also causing heart disease, kidney disease, liver disease, thinking diseases, because you need oil. Oil is very important. They break it down in Wizard of Oz when they find the Tin Man. That's the Tin Man, tax identification number. He's caught up in the system. And when they finally oil him so he can speak, he says, and they oil him, and he says, oh, I was over there cutting wood, and then it began to rain, and I began to rust. Did you know the Wizard of Oz story, the original one, is about the fall of man? It's about when the banks were crashed purposely in the 1920s. The whole story. We need oil. The brain is made of cholesterol. They say the best oils for cooking is going to be avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, or beef tallow. He say beef tallow. Beef is bad. Listen, y'all need to be careful now. Don't get caught up in these trends, which are like religions. Some of y'all is eating meat anyway. You eating some of this food that's worse than meat. Some of these plant-based things that's supposed to look like chicken and feel like chicken or beef. You want to get to the healthiest food we can get to, which is more not plant-based, but it's vegetables. And if you're eating animals, it's okay. Just get something that's organic or wild caught. It's the domesticated animals that's causing a lot of diseases. So the next level of illness is the food that you're eating that has been, it's been damaged. It's not natural. These animals don't even mate on their own, the domesticated animals. They don't want to make babies. They force them to. They know how to force the sperm out of animals, put it in a plastic bag or a balloon, and put it in the female and pop it to make them become pregnant. Because the animals in captivity are not trying to have intimacy. This is breeding, forced breeding. Get to know what you're eating. Learn the muscle testing technique, and you'll know if you should eat. And then, just because, some people say, Dr. B says to eat lemons and oranges. You need to know which lemon and which orange. Not just that pile. You can muscle test each orange, because each orange is different. Each lemon is different. And if you're looking at fruits and vegetables and they all look exactly the same, something's wrong. Nature don't do that. So is one particular food for you. There's one particular relationship for you, or relationships. There's business that you can make choices based on this kinesiology. If you're going through states of illness, then this kinesiology is very important, because you may muscle test. Should I take this drug the doctor just gave me? And if your muscle goes weak, then it's not for you. There may be another one that's better for you. I'm not saying all pharmaceuticals are bad. I'm not going to make that statement. Some, in an emergency, you may have to take it till you get to a point of balance or homeostasis. Then you can get off it and then talk about detoxifying your body and restoring your energy to come to balance again. Because in an emergency, a lot of things may have to happen. So, if you're going through any illness, cleansing and detoxification is important. And there's all kinds of cleansers out there, but I created our program, our cleansing program, because I realized that some of them, especially when we're dealing with parasites, they fall short of dealing with systemic parasites. Most people don't even know what systemic parasites are. Some folks, we're using, black walnut, green black walnut hulls, cloves, papaya seeds, even pomegranate seeds, pumpkin seeds, diatomaceous earth. There's a lot of things that you could take to get rid of your parasites that are in your digestive tract. I'd like to know scientifically, how do you get rid of parasites that are throughout your system, the systemic ones? That's my specialty. And what I had to go to get this information and how it came is a whole deep experience that happened in 1996. Deep. In fact, my book that's just about done, I'm going to talk about it because this book is about parasites. Mental, physical, spiritual parasites, and parasite. People can be parasites too. How many people will just suck all the energy out of you? Parasitic. The average people now are parasitic. They need somebody to save them. They need somebody to help them. They need the answers. They're using artificial intelligence in schools now to give them all the answers. So folks ain't thinking. You don't need to think. Let artificial intelligence think for you. Then put on some artificial hair, some artificial lashes. You see, get artificially fit because now you got a six-pack and you look really good. And you think that is the best thing. You better do some more science because that may not be natural. Is that natural in nature? I'm not saying don't do it. Don't get upset now. Say Dr. B said don't go to the gym. I didn't tell you that. I'm saying some of the processes that you're involved with are not natural. They're not with the natural biorhythms of the earth. You just want to look good because today it's all about looking a certain way. It's about your look. So you put on all this makeup or fake up. You have this whole, personality, this whole look that you create. Some people are naturally a certain way. But what is beauty? What is true beauty? Beauty is from the inside out. You want to be fine, but what about becoming refined? What about refined? You become refined when you detoxify from parasites. I'm talking about the systemic parasites and the superbugs, like toxoplasma, uriplasma. Do you know anything about them? How are you going to get your natural parasite drugs to get into or herbs to get into the brain, to get into the liver? You've got to change the viscosity. You've got to change the vibration and the frequency of your blood to deal with systemic parasites. Some of them were created as bioweapons. They were dropped on countries and put in water, and that water evaporated up into the clouds and rained somewhere else and rained down on you. So we've now got the parasites and these bugs and superbugs and alien creatures like Helicobacter pylori that come from another planet on all of us. What do you mean? H. pylori is a parasite from superbug from another world. This many of them, schizosoma. I can't even say the name right, probably. Superbugs. You've got to use flower essences, essential oils. You've got to use biorhythms, sound rhythms, light frequencies. Do you know how to make that into a solution? And how are you going to put sound into a solution? Because those sounds is what your cells are listening for. We figured out how to put sound and light into a solution and get it to hold. We're not making so many products here at Elevation that we can't take time to work with each one and give it the energy that it needs. We also do a type of Reiki over all the herbs. Yes, I became a Reiki master many years ago. I don't do it on clients. I do it for the herbal products. Are your herbal products you bought from Homey or from the store or whatever, do they have the same energy level like they should? Where is your olive leaf coming from? Is the olive leaf from Oregon? Because that olive leaf is not like the olive leaf that we're getting from Morocco, from Africa. It's a totally different vibration. It works totally different. Where's your cinnamon from? What kind of cinnamon is it? Is it true cinnamon, cinnamon Ceylon? Cinnamon Ceylon really helps with diabetes and a whole lot of other things. Cinnamon Ceylon or true cinnamon. It's actually from Sri Lanka, which used to be called Ceylon. It's very soft and flaky. You can break it off with your fingers. Yeah, it costs twice as much, but that's the true cinnamon. That's the one that was studied to help with diabetes, along with cactus pears and cactus leaf. Did you know that? Barberry. Are you familiar with barberry? And berberine? So we've got something on our website, which is for people dealing with diabetes. They get the Elevated Total Body Program for at least 3 months, 3 times in a row, 28-day program. And they add to it something called blood sugar powder, which has many things that help to reset the blood sugar and help the pancreas work correctly. Some people say, well, I don't have diabetes, but a lot of folks are pre-diabetic. That means you don't have it yet, but it's on the way because it's running in your family. What's running in your family is your habits and some of your choices and some of the toxins and some of the blue light that's coming from your screen, from your electronic devices, some of the waves and frequencies that are coming from your modem because you don't ever cut it off. This is our flagship product. Some of you know it. Some of you have done it. This will help to create one of the biggest changes in your life. It's called Dr. B's Elevated Total Body Paracleanse Program. Let me figure out how to move this around. There's a way to do this. Wait, hold on. Can I do it like this? There we go. It helps to deal with systemic parasite eradication and detoxification at a cellular level. So it's an intracellular cleanses. A lot of things that we take, herbs and supplements, they work in the extracellular fluid. That's the fluid around the cells. To get inside the cell, you got to move past the cell membrane. Inside the cell is the intracellular fluid. The frequency and also the pressure on the outside of the cell and the inside of the cell have to be equal. Did you know that? The extracellular fluid and the intracellular fluid have to be balanced. They have to be kind of like the same consistency, so that the wall, the membrane of the cell has the right frequency to it. So there are special processes to get your herbs and your all your supplements to go from the extracellular fluid and get into the cell. Now, some of them do. I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying you need to know. So this helps to deal with detoxification at a cellular level. It helps with toxoplasma. Do you know what toxoplasma is? There's a book. This is Your Brain on Parasites. Have you read this book? This is Your Brain on Parasites. It talks about how tiny creatures manipulate our behavior and shape society. Did you hear that? How tiny creatures manipulate our behavior and shape our society. There's a brand new study called psychoparasitology. Do you know about it? There's several people who are biologists that specialize in psychoparasitology. That means how parasites manipulate your thoughts. The ones that's in your gut, they might make you a little uncomfortable and cause some illnesses. The major illnesses that we have on the planet are coming from deficiencies. You're not getting enough of the right nutrients to run your cells, to operate your body, to get your cells that repair cells and your genes that repair other genes to work correctly. But it's also systemic parasites. There's liver flukes that live in the liver There's a parasite that lives in the pancreas called a pancreatic flukeworm. You can eat all the pumpkin seeds you want, all the diatomaceous earth you want. It's not going to deal with the pancreatic flukeworm. Who has it? Almost everybody. It's just that it's in a quiescent state. It's hiding. It's waiting till there's a certain trauma in the body. That trauma could be mental, physical, spiritual. And when something happened, it kicks in. And all of a sudden, your blood sugar's off. If you worry too much and you're not doing what you really, truly do, then your pancreas rhythm is off. The biorhythm of the pancreas is very, it's very special. Toxoplasma. Toxoplasma is known as the mind control parasite. You may not even know that you've had it most of your life, but it manipulates your perception. It manipulates your nervous system, how you feel about things, because it lives in a part of the brain called the amygdala. The amygdala. Look up the amygdala or the amygdala, because there's two of them on each side of your brain. Has a lot to do with emotions. This parasite manipulates emotions. Some people say, well, it's only in cats. Well, no, it started in cats. Now that parasite is throughout society. And they say over 70% of the people have toxoplasma, which chooses them or makes them choose things like fake this and wearing plastics. People would never do this back in the day. Putting on makeup with 300 and something chemicals, or even some of these perfumes with over 400 and something chemicals in them to smell good. Wearing the fake hair, putting on the makeup, taking all these things, these supplements that's supposed to bring out your muscles. And, a lot of folks are taking this chemical testosterone so they can look strong. A lot of men are taking stuff so they can be harder and stronger. And they don't know if they stop taking it, a lot of folks can't even get it up no more. Because you've changed the way your hormones are working instead of doing it naturally, because many hormones manipulate your hormones. I mean, many parasites will manipulate your hormones. And that's why your stuff ain't working. And that's why you may not have the right love vibration, because you got stuff in your brain affecting your pituitary gland. Toxoplasma is a superbug, and most people have it. There's a test for it, not the test the doctors do, because they're looking for toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is different than toxoplasma. And if you got cats, read the kitty litter bag, and it tells you that the poo-poo of the cat has toxoplasma in it. It's in the dust particles of the kitty litter. And people that got lots of cats, check out the thinking. Oh, but cats are great. If you're a witch, you need a cat. Well, who told you that? I'm not saying to get rid of the cat. I'm saying you got to work with toxoplasma. Learn how to eradicate toxoplasma first from you, because most likely you've slept with somebody with toxoplasma. You hugged and kissed with somebody with toxoplasma. You ate with somebody with toxoplasma. And toxoplasma is so pervasive in our society that, it's just why people are voting and feeling, and their emotions are moved so quickly. And all of a sudden words hurt their feelings. That is a symptom of toxoplasma. Did you know that? Just some words hurting your feelings. Words hurt. What are you talking about? They didn't hit you and slap you and hit you with a shovel. They said something and knocked you down and you're through because they called you something. That's a symptom of toxoplasma. People, all of a sudden, they tell you everybody in the world's going to have this disease and everybody's got it. And you got to rush down and take this stuff and get shot up and, jizzed in the arm. What made people all do this? What makes people feel like, what's happening in Washington is going to change their life so much? It's got to do with toxoplasma. Most people are living in fear. And they're inferior and have an inferiority complex, and they live like victims. All of that is toxoplasma. Even having too big of an ego and tripping all the time. Toxoplasma, mind control. Get the book. This is your brain on parasites. They break it down. These tiny creatures are controlling society. And toxoplasma got a cousin called uriplasma. lives down in the urinary tract. And in women, it travels from the urinary tract into the vagina and back and forth and back and forth. And a lot of times they'll say it's yeast. Oh, you got a urinary infection. And men pass it to women, women pass it to men. That's why the man and the woman both, if you're involved in intimacy, you both need to be doing the cleanse. Otherwise, you'll cross-contaminate. You might say, well, I'm doing the herbs, but my man or my woman or my other, they're not doing it, and it's okay. You think that you're going to be protected? Parasites are very intelligent. They're 2.5 billion-year-old creatures. So toxoplasma, uriplasma are all intelligent creatures. And there's a whole group of intelligent parasites. We found that people doing this program for at least 28 days changes their lives. It changes the way they think, the way they feel. They become superconductors. A superconductor always is in conductivity. They're always moving towards their goal, no matter what. Even if they get off course, they get back on. Even if they're working a regular job, they know that that job is doing what? Moving them towards their goal. They're building instead of complaining about the job all day, becoming a victim of the job. You're just over broke. I'm not saying don't get a job. I'm saying you need to get your mind right about that job and know that it's pushing you somewhere. You're using those funds. You're using that currency to put you on the right track so that you can go where you'd like to go. But if you got toxoplasma, and another intelligent parasite is malaria. Did you know that the average person has the energy of malaria? You can get tested for it. Go to what they call a holistic chiropractor, the ones that do the muscle testing. And you can do this yourself when you do this, when you learn the course. But they will test you. And most people have a residual amount of malaria, especially in the South, because the South of America had such terrible infestations of these malaria carrying mosquitoes. In the last 100 years, they've had plagues. So the child may not have malaria, but it has the energy of malaria. It has the miasma. It has the field within their body. Did you know this? What are you going to use to get rid of that? There's special herbs that make a lot of certain nutrients or elements. One of them is quassia. Quassia. Where's my quassia cup? Do I have it here? There is a herb called quassia, which is high in quinine. Quinine helps you to protect yourself and detoxify yourself from the malaria vibration and a whole lot of other things. Quassia. Some of you in the Caribbean know about it. You know about the quassia and the man quasai. To make all these things work correctly so that you're not taking too much, you got to understand medicine. Medicine is measurement. So when I mention certain things, people go out and buy a whole bunch of it. Man, I bought 10 pounds of quassia. I've been drinking that every day. And they come back to me burned out. Dr. B, I don't feel good. Because you're not supposed to use it every day, because you don't study herbs like you could. And just because you read an herb book and took a little herb course, that's great. But you may not understand the indigenous way. And the indigenous way is you got to learn measurement, because medicine means measurement. Some things you got to build up slowly over time. That's why even with the parasite cleanse, this elevated total body program and the total body program, which is a smaller program, you've got to build up on certain herbs. You got to read those instructions really well, because with the quantum para cleanse, it says to take 1 dropper the first day. That's 1 squeeze, comes up about 1 inch. It says take 1 the first day, 2 the second day, 3 the third day. It's graduating. It's building. We're hunting the parasites. You cannot let the parasites know you coming. Are you crazy? These things are 2.5 billion year old creatures. They're survivalists. They was here before you. You think it's your world. James Brown might need to change his song from "It's a Man's World" to "It's a Parasite's World." They run it. They even control insects. Certain insects start acting different, acting funny because they got a parasite. And everybody got parasites. Don't sit there and tell me you don't have parasites because you use a vegan and you take herbs and you did a cleanse and I did a colonic and all kinds of things like that. Let me tell you something. Those are usually intestinal parasites that's coming out in that colonic, which is okay if you need it. You want to use this electrical device to squirt water up in your behind and suck it out? I'm not telling you don't do it. I'm saying there may be other things that you should do along with that or not even do that alone. And if you find out through muscle testing that you shouldn't do certain things, that may not be for you. So don't think that Dr. B said don't get colonized. Now you're going to go tell the colonist. I'm saying when you take our course, the body never lies. You're going to know what's for you. I want to hear this about what the African diet was. Well, you don't know what you don't even know where Africa is. It didn't even exist. It's a brand new place they made up. There was a place called Alkebulan. There was Negrita. There was Ethos. The whole world was one planet. One continent. The North Pole and the South Pole was on the equator at a certain time, and it flips. They found things under the ice caps that's older than what you call them in Africa. They found stuff in North America, right? They found items in North America that are older than anything. And they're now saying that the Nile, the original Nile, was the Mississippi River. It's quite funny that a bunch of the cities along the Mississippi have the same name. Wow. You think there was only one Nile. Some of you are in denial, floating down the river. What we know is that we're here right now. We're not sure about the past because it's been fed to us. We know right now that we're living in a world where people are basically in North America sicker than they've ever been. Almost every illness you can think of comes from deficiencies, right? Where your immune system and your cells and your organs and your glands are not firing correctly, working correctly, and parasites. Almost every single one of them. A lot of people got the heartworm from dogs. The heartworm. How are you going to get rid of that? Pumpkin seeds? Pumpkin seeds are great for the zinc. Really helps your prostate. It's not going to deal with the heartworm. Do you even know about the heartworm? And do you know most of the animals that you keep around your house, you are now getting what they have zoonomically. Do you know about zoonotic parasites, or parasites that cross from animals into people? Like syphilis came from sheep. Somebody was having intimate relationships with sheep and then had intimate relationships with people. And now we got syphilis. Did you know that? Did you know that the settlers came here on boats running from the Black Plague, the bubonic plague, and all those plagues of Europe? And they popped up on the soil, and most of the native people died because they had these diseases that actually came from animals, because most of us did not live that closely with animals. You put them outside. No, we got them in the bed, licking them, kissing them. I don't want to go there. People get upset with me. Okay, I'll leave that alone. Stop. Breathe, Dr. B. Breathe, Dr. B. Breathe, 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 breathe. And don't go tell your friends that Dr. B said you got to get rid of your animals. I didn't say that. I'm saying if you got animals, you definitely need to be cleansing and detoxification, detoxifying yourself every time the seasons change. If you're having intimate relations, you definitely need to be cleansing and detoxifying every time the seasons change. If you're eating food, especially if it's food from the grocery store, you definitely need to be cleansing every time the seasons change. If you're taking any medicines, any drugs, you definitely need to be cleansing. Pharmaceutical drugs themselves have side effects. There's all kinds of things in them besides the active ingredient. You may say, well, I don't take that stuff. You may have taken it 10, 15, 20 years ago when you had an accident. Some of that stuff residually is still in your system. There may be what they call the miasma, or the energetic field of those drugs, but your body is always attempting to repair itself. So we're saying give it what it needs. In this program is the nutrients, right? That helps to rejuvenate your system. We're just in the cleansing. Did you know cleansing is not as healthy as you think? Because you got to rejuvenate, rebuild. You got to give your body these essential nutrients. So in this program is the essential nutrients. That's how it increases energy and vitality. It boosts the immune system, helps with chronic illness, rate reduction, improves digestion, peace of mind. When you cleanse your body at this level and detoxify and then rejuvenate, your mind is different. In this program, you're going to get 2 bottles of the Quantum Paracleanse. No, you can't buy them by themselves because they don't work by themselves. They're part of a program. You also want to get something called Tranquility, because when you are cleansing at this level, you may have a lot of gas or ammonia gas, which is the die-off of parasites. Some people say, well, Dr. B, I got so much gas. That's because the dead bugs are dying. That's a symptom of how many you got in your system, especially when you're detoxifying. So Tranquility helps to eliminate some of that gas, and it helps you sleep at night, because if you have too much ammonia gas in your system, you can't sleep. You get something called New Life. New Life has most of the minerals that you need and helps to break up the hardened or calcified mucus in the body. And it helps to rejuvenate the blood. You also get something called Timeless Man for the men. They used to call it, herbal Viagra, because the men would start coming online and like crazy. And their flagpole would be flagpoling. But it's not for that. It's just help to bring circulation and help to balance the male hormones. But that's one of the side effects some folks have. Women, there's something called Sacred Womb in your program, which helps to rejuvenate some of your hormones and balance your nervous system, because your womb is where your mind or your creativity is coming from as a woman. Yes, your womb. Some people say, well, I don't have a womb, Dr. B, so I don't need that. You do have a womb. They cannot cut any organ out of the body energetically. They can only cut the flesh, but the energy of it, the vibration of it, the auric field of it is still there. That's why people have had an amputated leg or arm, they still could feel their fingers. They want to itch them and scratch them, because the auric field, the energy field of it is still there. You can see it through, what is they using? What's the photography, Kirlian photography? They can have a person with an arm that's been amputated, and look, they have this photography where it can see the auric field, and you could tell them to move their fingers, and on the screen, you see fingers moving. They don't have physical fingers, but the energy field is still there. So even when they cut out an organ, the energy field is still there. So there are things in this program which helps to rejuvenate the energy field, the electrical flow. Wow. This is deep. So we mentioned New Life, and then there's Laxese. Laxese is a mild colon conditioner. It's not a strong one, because most folks just need something to spark and to activate the peristalsis, which is the movement of the colon. And another thing, if you're ever rubbing your belly, rub your belly clockwise. And if you're rubbing children's bellies or anybody, always rub it clockwise, because that's the way the energy moves in the digestive tract. It's clockwise, especially your colon. Don't ever go counterclockwise, because you're getting the energy to move the opposite way. Okay. So this program is amazing. There's a sale going on this weekend. This is our flagship product. It changes folks' lives. Some of you who are here in the chat, some of you who are online have done it before. It's the Elevated Total Body Program. No matter what illness you're dealing with, mental, physical, spiritual, or if you just like to stay tuned up and tuned in, every season, do the program. I've got some people who buy 4 programs because they said, well, Dr. B, during COVID, we couldn't even find you. Postal service wasn't delivering. It was a lot. So sometimes you want to store and, build up or store up your products. So you may, if you like, while it's on sale and while you use your discount code, you can also, get more. Once again, that discount code so that you can get 10% off of anything in your cart over $99 or more. Also in this program is a liver powder. It rejuvenates the liver, the kidneys, and spleen. It feeds them the nutrients and helps to push some of the toxins out because those organs are filters. Did you know that the human body is a juicer? Have you ever heard this before? You could eat all the bulk you want, all the big steaks and all the food and vegetables. The only thing the body can do, the digestive tract squeezes it and squeezes it until the fluid comes out. The rest of it goes out as waste. You're a juicer. You're juicing everything. So this guy came and told me he was a raw foodist, right? He eats raw flesh. And he talks about all the nutrients and that in it. And I said, well, let's take, fill your blender with water and take that steak and that lamb or that piece of pork chop or chicken head, put it in the blender and turn it on and then filter it and drink that. He was like, oh my God, that's gross. That's exactly what your body's doing. You wouldn't eat that. You wouldn't eat a pork chop smoothie, would you? Some people might. Your body is a juicer. It's only juicing. What goes through your digestive tract, right, is things that have been broken down into very small particles in liquids. It's got to break them down into small particles. Everything else goes out into the waste. So we're juicers. Think about that. And you're also filter. You're filtering everything. Your body is filtering everything. So once you clean out the filter, like you're cleaning out that oil filter in your car, it's going to run better. This is the Elevated Total Body Program, available at elevationtime.com. Let's keep going. Symptoms of parasites. I'm going to go through this really quickly. Low energy, depression, anger, negative thinking, cancer, virus, colds, flus, allergies, loss of appetites, taste and smell, loss of taste and smell, heart disease, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, diabetes, menstrual problems, vaginal infections, sexual dysfunction, over and underweight, drooling while sleeping, itchy ears, nose, anus, and body, grinding of the teeth, gas and bloating, chronic fatigue syndrome, pain in the joints, insomnia, depression, bipolar, tripolar, pentapolar. Some people got so many personalities today, you don't know who you're talking to. You know about that. Food and drug cravings, rash and pimples, things floating by the eyes, epilepsy, liver problems, kidney problems, spleen problems, chronic hunger, and unclear vision and mental imbalance. And that's just a small list of systemic parasites. Let's keep going. Heaven on earth. A lot of folks, once you start changing and growing and going through all this stuff that's happening, after your person lost, whether they lost on the team or they lost in politics, you might need to calm your nerves down. Some of the news you're hearing and some of the things that you're seeing on social media, you got to calm down because your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system are usually imbalanced. The sympathetic nervous system is receiving too much information from the environment, and your sympathetic nervous system, which is supposed to filter things to focus on what is best for you, may be shut down because of the overstimulation and the mass distraction. Half of the things that you're learning, you wouldn't even have known. Half of the problems that's going on, you wouldn't even have known. You'd be living a peaceful life. But we're newsy and nosy. We need to know everything. Anything that flares up, that looks disagreeable, we move towards it. In the news that bleeds is the news that leads, because people are already been programmed, especially by parasites, or they move towards what's disagreeable. Because when you're angry and upset and in fear, did you know that your immune system stops working? So the parasites, your immune system is trying to deal with these parasites, but because you're upset most of the time, your immune system shuts down. The only time the immune system really works is when you're 100%, when you're 100% what? In balance. Your nervous system. So who's this person here? Is it idiot 7 jock? Idiot jock? They say 47, that small bottle, that's robbery. It is. First of all, you don't know how big the bottle is. It's a 4-ounce bottle. If you knew what was in it, then you wouldn't say things like that. You see, something's triggering you because we like things cheap. We want the cheap version. I in no way make the cheap version of anything. I use the very best elements. See, when you're actually picking a lot of these herbs, when you're actually figuring out where the best source is. So one of the things that we use in here is motherwort. Do you even know what motherwort is and what it does? Do you know there's 3 places where you could get motherwort? One of them, the soil is deficient, but it is motherwort growing, but it doesn't have the balanced soil. So when we pick elements and products, we use the very best. We're not saying we're the only ones. Go get it from somewhere else if you'd like to get it. We're saying that we have high energy, high degree, and not only that, our stuff doesn't sit on shelves for long periods of time. Did you know as it sits on the shelf, it's losing energy? Did you know that? You got to keep the energy level up of this particular herb or vitamin or nutrient. Did you know that? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how many herbs and flower essences and crystal elixirs are in this product? So you can go out and buy whatever you like that's inexpensive that you feel you can afford. Go get it. We're not saying to go with us. We're saying if you'd like high level, if you're a high level person, we're talking about high level all the time. If you're high vibrational, then you want your products to be high vibrational. So if you've got judgment and you want to throw some shade, then throw it. Go get your cheap stuff. That's okay. We're dealing with the best of the best. What we pay, what we have to invest sometimes to put these nutrients and these products together, it's a lot. We make them by hand. I make every product. I have to put my energy on it. In the years and years that it took for me to create these elixirs, this is just not like a tonic or what you call a tincture. It's not that. Read it. Go look on the website. We're using flower essences. What are flower essences? What kind of flower essences? What are they? What do they do? That's not essential oils. We're using very high level essential oils. We're using crystal elixirs. Do you know what a crystal elixir is and how to get it to mix with herbs? Because they're separate things. Huh? Do you know what it takes to put sound energy and frequencies in here? If you don't, then be quiet. You don't have to tell everybody and try to put something in the chat or wherever and tell everybody how bad the stuff is. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you don't like the fact that I said that sugar shuts down the brain, it does. I didn't say it turns it off. It shuts it down. If you don't like something, you don't have to voice it, because that lets us know where your nervous system is. And that lets me know you got toxoplasma. And you try to get rid of toxoplasma with some cheap stuff. Go do it. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're offering you a gateway. We're looking for true seekers. We're looking for people who are looking for the best in life. We're looking for high-level people, leaders. So if you ain't got something good to say, be like grandma and say nothing. Keep your words to yourself. If you're in agreement, good. And I wouldn't put myself out like that, because now, folks will look and say, well, who is this person? What's that energy over there? You may not agree with Dr. B. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm offering you a window. And the folks who have taken these products know that it's of the highest level. Are you of a high level? Heaven on earth is going to help you calm down so you can relax. And it also helps you to maintain energy. It doesn't make you where you're tired and burned out. Platinum Life Elixir. You think that bottle, this is the same size bottle, 4 ounces for how much? Do you know what's in here? Do you know what monoatomic gold, iridium, palladium? Do you know what they do? We're not talking about gold water. That's great. This is not just gold water, because what we did was took the gold and put it with its family. And if you look in the middle of the periodic table, you'll see gold, platinum, iridium, and palladium make an L in the middle of the chart, right in the middle of the periodic table. Why? Because they act different in a monoatomic state. No, it's not cheap. It's expansive because it's the best. When you know what these things do, and the influence and the time it takes to make them. Some of these products take a very, very long time to create. They're aged. That's why sometimes you go to the website and they're out of stock. And people say, well, when are you going to make some more, Dr. B? Well, we can't make any more right now because it's not time, because it's got to be the right season. It's got to be the right time. I got to be feeling the right vibe within myself. The room has to be right. The energy has to be right. The North Pole's got to be facing a certain way. There's got to be this whole thing with the 7 directions. Do you even know what the 7 directions are? Do you know what goes into this? A lot. And it may not be for you. If it is for you, choose yourself. Winners choose themselves. And winners don't throw shade, because that's not a winning vibration. Maybe your pineal is off. Platinum Life Elixir, the Gregory Reserve, was something that we created for Dick Gregory. It's for pineal decalcification, peak performance, increased life expectancy. It helps to repair your telomeres. Do you know what telomeres are? Do you know how important they are to get your cells to rejuvenate themselves quickly so you don't age so quickly? You have any idea? Go do the research. Telomeres. There's a book called The Telomere Effect. Where is it? I'm not going to reach for it now, but look for the book, The Telomere Effect, to break down telomeres, and you'll see how telomeres are affected by bad attitudes, stress, anger, fear, certain foods, certain activities. Your telomeres begin to break off because the body says, we don't like ourselves. We don't like other people. Because if you don't like other people and you think things are not best for you and you're always talking poo-poo, then guess what? The body says, we don't need to be here that long. And you begin to deteriorate just based on your telomeres. This product is also helping good for mood lifting, anti-aging, energizing, heavy metal detox. Are you aware of what heavy metals are and how they're in almost everything? And a lot of herbal products, I need you to hear me now. A lot of herbal products have heavy metals in them. A lot. So you've got to get your herbs that you're using to make your products certified. I've used certified products that they don't have heavy metals. They don't have toxins. They don't have chemicals. Huh? That book is The Telomere Effect. The Telomere Effect. The Telomere Effect. It's not sitting right here. So heavy metals are, a lot of people have heavy metals in their tissues because of food we've eaten, from things that we've done, fabrics that we've worn. There's so many heavy metals that are in the air. You can't get away from them, but detoxing from them is challenging. So a lot of people say, well, take cilantro. Do you know how much cilantro you got to eat to get rid of some of these heavy metals? And some of these heavy metals were bonded metals. These are metals that were never natural. They're things that were created in labs, like steel. Even though it's really good, stainless steel is not from the earth. It's several things they put together to make stainless steels. So there are certain elements that we have now that were not originally on the periodic table. And they're jagged and they're harsh. So to detoxify from heavy metals, you got to have something that will wrap up these heavy metals, right, in these little cocoons and float them out of the body. And one of the things that does that is humic acid, fulvic acid, oxyhumic acid, and certain things like that actually will go and gravitate towards those metals and begin to move them slowly out of the organs. So this product helps to do that. This is one of our flagship products. And it's for those who are ready to invest. This product, Focus, is for your brain, mental clarity, brain enhancement tonic, for better memory, increased attention, discipline, confidence, to help you feel limitless and unstoppable. It's a nootropic. Nootropic are things that helps your brain and your neurons work more efficiently so that you can tap in, so that you can stay focused and not drift. Huh? Organic cotton. The benefits of wearing organic cotton: naturally has a higher level of spirituality and purity, attracts divinity and more life force energy. This is 100% organic cotton. It's better for the environment. It improves comfort and ease at which your body functions. This is organic cotton. And greater ability to retain agreeable vibrations, softer and more breathable on your skin. It's free from chemicals if it's organic. Ethically sustainable. Cotton does not suck energy from your body. Polyester does. Any of those man-made fibers, they suck energy from your body. They're sucking your life force out. Some people are sleeping with it, wearing it as underwear, it's in the bra. It's in your exercise outfit. You got your little tight Speedos on and all that stuff. What are they made out of? Just go get organic cotton. You want to move to the next level? Then you get wool in the winter. Wool is another fabric that gives you energy. They said it has a frequency of about 5,000. You see? Linen is another one. Frequency of about 5,000. That's made from flax. Hemp is another one. And there's the certain fibers that are made from animals. Those are more of the natural fibers. You wearing these inorganic fibers is causing you to have a bad attitude. It's putting chemicals in your body, microplastics, and you're sweating, and they're around your reproductive organs. What you got wrapped around your stuff? It was cheap, though. It was at the store, and it was on sale for 99 cents. You get a pack of 100 underwear. I'm exaggerating, but we want to get the cheap stuff. Well, go get the cheap stuff. Then we're not telling you not to do that. You see? And, everywhere you go, they got the polyesters. It used to be you couldn't even find it. It was a new fabric. It's sucking the life force. It plays with your brain, your spirituality. Did you know that? That you can't really connect electrically to the environment if you've got too many artificial things in and on your body? Wow. It's deep. So we have a few of the organic cotton I Allow hoodies. They're amazing. This is the time of the year. You put that hoodie on. It has a mantra on it. I allow love, peace, and harmony. Just wearing your mantra, it affects the liquid in your body. Just like Dr. Emoto talks about certain words that you put on a glass of water before you drink it affects the water. If you have certain thoughts that are disagreeable, the water in your body becomes toxic. Okay. You see, somebody said, can I get, this is you again, brother? Can I get a discount half off of $400? No, we don't do 50% off. That means I'm giving you the product for free because it's going to take that to make it. I'm not sure what you're talking about, brother, or sister, whoever you are. And we did do a half off of 50% sale once. We won't be doing one again. So if you're waiting for that, it won't happen. That was a very special gift that we gave because I won the Spiritual Leader of the Year award. And for that, we gave everybody that was on that webcast a special gift. Okay. So for us to be here to do what we do, I mean, the pots that we use special pots in the lab. I have these pots that have copper, right? They have all of these essential metals in them, layered in the bottom of them, and they sing. They're singing pots that we cook. Have you heard of this? One of my teachers was from China, and he told me where to get these special bowls and these pots where we cook some of the herbs, and they hum. They go, and they put frequencies in the herbs. Do you even know about this? Yeah, we go to next level. I would like to do this because my thing is I didn't get into this for a business. I got into natural health to save my life because I was very sick at one time. And I promised that if I got healthy, I would help other people. And people came and sought me out to do this, to go public and to sell products. I was not attempting to do this at all. This was not what business I was in. I'm in the music and vibration and sound. But sometimes you can be a little selfish by not giving out some of your talents that you have naturally. So I was pushed, and by Brother Carl Nelson from the Carl Nelson radio show in 1994, he and his partner and Stevie Wonder on his show, they actually all pushed me into coming out and said, go help people. So I began to speak and teach. Originally, all I did was teach. Then I started, started putting together mineral products, or I used to get mineral products from Dr. Watkins. Was it Dr. Watkins? What's his name? I can't even remember his name now. He's got some of the best minerals in the world. I can't remember his name. Wallach, Dr. Wallach. I used to, sell some of his, products. Then I started creating my own products and began to put it out there, and people asked for it. But it was a very, challenging, endeavor because of the roots that we use. All the things that we use are all we use the very best. Nothing cheap. No binders. You see? We have a few organic t-shirts left, just a few. They moved really fast. They were like, wow. They just shot out. We also have an organic, we have a special a special mug, which is now back in back in stock. I need to make sure they're in stock on the website. Let me go right now. For those of you who would like a mug that you drink, you put water in it, you put tea and coffee in it. It's made of a very special non-leaching material, and it has a mantra on it. And that mantra is the I allow mantra. Just drinking it begins to crystallize whatever you're drinking into, it says here there's only 7, but there's more because we just got some today. So let's put down here, there is not 7, but there's 77. Is there? Well, we'll see. But these things sometimes move quickly. So if you'd like to invest, whenever you're investing something, say, return 1,000-fold, and that energy will come back to you. The Master Mushroom Tonic is part of the Elevated Total Body Program. It's what helps it deal with these superbugs. Regular herbs will not deal with superbugs. Regular colon cleanses and herbs for the colon do not deal with the group of bugs called superbugs. These are bioweapons. It takes mushrooms, which are intelligent. You see, mushrooms are living, intelligent creatures. They're very powerful. Some people like to get this by itself. So it's a superior immune enhancement, hyper antioxidant, intracellular rejuvenation. It's amazing. You see, mushrooms, the mycelium network is a whole special thing. Then there's Essential Balance, which is this is a food replacer. Meal replacer. It has your essential nutrients. For those of you who are looking for the best Irish moss and bladderwrack, it is in this particular product, along with a lot of other things that helps to reduce lectins in your gut. Lectins are things that come from plants, like tomatoes and peanuts and certain plants. Their skin and their seeds are actually toxic, even though, a lot of us eat it and think that it's natural, and it is, but it's trying to save its life and protect its babies. So you are the gold mine. You got to act like it. You got to move like it. You got to talk and walk like it. You see? Yes. Okay, somebody's asking about the Shilajit Complete. Shilajit is a type of humic acid which comes from India. But we found that a lot of the Shilajit out there is not the organic natural Shilajit. It's natural, but they use Shilajit to detoxify soil. It pulls poisons out of soil really quickly. So a lot of that is toxic waste, right? And they sell it. You got to be careful in some of these countries. So we only have the Shilajit that is the original non-toxic Shilajit, and it's this black liquid that bubbles up from certain soil, or it comes out of certain mountains. And it's also known as Mumia, medicine of the Moors. And the Moors went around the world collecting this Shilajit, and the other one is humic acid, and Mumia humic acid, and they ate it. It has all your minerals in it. It supercharges your body. Your spiritual mindset gets clear. So Shilajit means conqueror of mountains. So we were asked to put together something that was a really, really good source. And it's not just Shilajit, because, to make Shilajit really work, you have to use certain types of fulvic acid, oxyfulvic acid, and the Shilajit to energize it. So we created this Shilajit product that we we brought it out at the Transcendence, celebration that we had a couple months ago. So that is on the website. Okay. So Shilajit Complete Tonic. Some folks really love that, and it gives you a lot of energy and keeps you focused. So on Saturday, we're doing the class, The Body Never Lies. It's about muscle testing. It's about kinesiology. Kinesiology is a way to test if something is for you. It could be something that's a product. It could be a supplement. It could be a relationship. It could be something that you need to, know yes or no on whether you should move forward. But it's personal kinesiology. There's many different types. This kinesiology is only for you. So you can't, I wouldn't use this technique that I'm teaching to test other people, because there are types of kinesiology that you can test other people. but you've got to learn how to get to this place called Clear Channel. Otherwise, you can force the test. You could change it. This is personal kinesiology, the art and application of muscle testing. That class is this Saturday. What we'll cover in this class: learn the art of personal muscle testing. Learn to formulate a proper question and receive an exact answer. Learn how to tap into universal consciousness. Take the guesswork out of important decisions and choices. Learn how to come and join the winner's circle. We've had class 1, class 2. Class 2 was deep because it's a bunch of questions that you need to ask yourself and formulate the right answer. Because when you're asking the question, doing this type of technology, you must know how to formulate the question. Somebody said, how much is the class? It's an investment of $44 per class, $44 for something that, is going to change your perspective, your life, if you use it correctly. One of the questions people ask once they learn the technique is my mate cheating on me? Does this person love me? And the question always comes up, no, every time. Because you didn't ask the question correctly. You didn't pose the correct question to the universe. Just like some folks are asking me questions, like whoever that was asking questions about the price of herbs, they were asking in a very, it had an angle on it. You got to watch your angle, because a lot of us are speaking the language of disempowerment. We're not speaking the language of empowerment. We're not even asking a question correctly, because English is English, which is on an angle. And a lot of the words and the way you say things are backwards. And they're not asking a question where you're going to get a proper answer. So your answer has to be about you. And it has to be in the present place. It has to be now. And it has to be agreeable. You can't ask a disagreeable question using this technology. Otherwise, you're going to get the answer you want. And if you're saying, if it's a disagreeable thing that you're asking, it's going to say yes. Does my friend hate me? Yes. Because you hating yourself by saying it. Our voice is very powerful. Your tongue. See, a lot of us, we were taught in Babylon, so we babble on, and we're not using the right use of language. Language can be your lockdown or your liberator. Cecil, if your God Power link was purchased at Elevation, then you can send us an email at Elevation. If your God Power was purchased at Elevation, some people say the original link doesn't work anymore. That's the one that people bought through was Eventbrite. Eventbrite, it's a lot going on over there, a lot of technical issues. So if you bought or purchased your God Power from Elevation at our website, we will send you a fresh link. That's for Cecil Wooden over there. This class is essential. The investment is very, very minuscule compared to what it cost me to learn these techniques. It's a lifetime. It started in music. I'm a jazz musician originally. It's improvisation. So we deal with intuition. I've got to catch the wave of it. And I'm a percussionist, so I'm in between the rhythms. It's a way to feel it in your gut, in your body. That's all kinesiology. Kinesiology just has to do with the way your muscles work and the way your body receives information. It could be exercising. That's a type of kinesiology too. This is a personal type of muscle testing so you can receive answers for you about you. The best things for you. So if you're taking this because you want to test and ask questions about other things and other people, you're not going to get a good answer. So if you'd like to ask a question about someone and how they care about you, you have to ask it about yourself. So you have to say, do I love myself? That's the first question. So people say, that's not what I want to know. Well, then you may ask the question, Jimmy is in alignment with me. Jimmy or Bobby or Jane or, You know what I'm saying? Hanifa's, right? She is in alignment with who I am, with my essence. She is. You don't say, is she? Hanifa is in alignment with me. That person is. You only can ask the question in the positive. And a lot of people are mystified of how to do this because they want to know how bad something is. You need to know how good it is, because bad and good are all a perception. So when you ask, is this person cheating on me? It's going to say yes. And you might go break up with the person, cuss them out and everything because you learned the kinesiology course wrong. So you're going to learn how to ask the question. And we were asking questions in part 2. So some of you remember, and we ran out of time. So we're going to finish asking certain questions about you so you can clarify who you are. Because when you get to this testing, you have to be clear channel, which means that you have to be in between, space. You got to create a void. You got to create a flow state. So breathing is involved. Being balanced is involved. The position of your chin, the position of your eyes. All of that is what's going to get you what we call a clear channel or a whole brain answer. The whole brain state is extremely important. How many of you know what a whole brain state is? Well, that's something we're going to learn about in the class. If you're signing up for the class, sign up now. We found out that when the bandwidth gets heavy, it starts shutting out folks. So there's only a certain amount of bandwidth that we have for that class. So it would be best to sign up as soon as possible if you're interested. And that's this Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to go to about 2 or 3. And it's class number 3, The Body Never Lies. If you haven't taken class 1 or 2, it would be best if you take the whole course. You don't have to. Choose for yourself. But this is going to be something that's going to be, needed even more in the coming months and years, because everything is changing. Everything is changing. I know you see that in the news and in politics. You're going to need to choose what's best for you. Even which route you should take to go to work or to go somewhere. What time to leave the house. You can do a muscle testing. Because if you leave at 1 versus 1:15, you're actually in another timeline. Sometimes if something happened and you say, wow, if I would have left a minute before or a minute earlier, that wouldn't have happened. That's true. So being able to get the feeling and to know by gut, to know by heart, what they call knowing by heart, has to do with the feeling. Because there is a wave that's in the universe, right? Everybody's getting. We're all connected on this cosmic grid. But there's many dimensions. There's at least 11 dimensions that the scientists have discovered. But we in the holistic world, or in the ancient world, they talked about 144 dimensions. So that means we're time jumping and we're dimension jumping all the time based on the choices that we make. You see? If you're dealing with illness, which supplements to take? This could possibly really help you. Whether you should listen to Dr. B or listen to somebody else or follow this person, that muscle testing will help you. In fact, a lot of folks will use the muscle testing and go through their list of followers and start canceling people out. Some of their friends, they'll know right away whether that person is totally in alignment with them, because most of the people may not be in alignment with you. And you have an agreement with them. They may be, part of your homies, or, you know what I'm saying? Your constituents. You see? Do you know what a constituent is versus a friend versus a confidant? All those things are really important. Okay. I'm going to answer a few questions here. Are you all there? Something went down for a second. There was a glitch. I'm back. We're gonna answer a few questions here. Let's see. Dr. B, can you drop a link? Link on to what? The class is at elevationtime.com. Elevationtime.com. Let's put that in the chat. www.elevationtime.com. And also, I'll place it on a banner where the website is for you to join the class, or if you'd like to try some of our, natural products. Okay. That class, once again, is The Body Never Lies. It's this Saturday. We've had a lot of people in the last few classes too. A lot of folks are interested in this so they can, make better choices and decisions and take the guesswork of these important questions and decisions. Because, a lot of times we're asking other people and we're going based on, what we call intelligence, what you've learned in the past. This is a brand new place. It's a new space. So I use this technique for everything. When I'm going to drop a new song, what I'm going to play, how I'm going to mix the record, or whether I'm going to do a webinar, a class, a workshop. All of this is like, it's all, I'm using kinesiology all the time. I am the muscle test because I've used it so much. It's by heart. Oh, somebody's asking about LA. Yes, on the 8th of December, we will be doing a special presentation at the Walk Good Yard on Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles. That's on the 8th. It's going to be from 4 in the afternoon till about 8. We're going to do a subconscious alignment. We're going to play some music. I'm going to introduce some of the new music and do some some sonic, what is the name of it? Sonic immersions. It's like a concert, but it's like a talk. It's like a lecture all in one. And I'll be bringing the drums and playing all of these sacred rhythms and teaching folks, how they can tap in. And we're going to do a oneness subconscious alignment. It's powerful. So that's going to be on Sunday, December the 8th. That's coming up soon in Los Angeles. Make sure you're on our email list at elevationtime.com. Get on our email list. And on that email list, you'll get a notice probably within the next few days that'll tell you how to tap in. Now, a lot of folks said, well, I can't go to LA. Can I still, go to this presentation? There will be a streaming online version of this. So it will also be streamed. You'll be able to buy tickets at the door. But if you buy tickets 24 hours before, right, your in-person tickets, there's one price. The prices will be up when your email. Make sure you go to elevationtime.com and get on the email list. So there'll be announcement coming, and we're doing it along with Walk Good LA, a beautiful facility in Los Angeles. It's beautiful. We're going back to our old stomping ground, starting this tour. We'll be hitting certain cities in 2025, but this will be the first of this kind. And we got a special gift for everybody who comes there. You're going to receive something that's amazing. So those of you who are really liking the music that we're doing right now, and if you're in the Los Angeles area at that time, that's December the 8th. And it's going to be Sirius Vibes live, Sirius Vibes. So be looking for that email. They'll be coming within the next couple of days. Go to elevationtime.com and join the email list. Don't write me and email me and ask me to put you on the email list. You have to opt in to get on that email list. Okay? So that's at elevationtime.com. That is a talk and a concert. It's amazing what we're going to do in LA. And we haven't been to LA in a while, so this is going to be amazing. So get your tickets early. And like I said, once again, if you'd like to be in the stream and be on, online and still, to participate and be there, you're welcome. We'll have that also. Let's see. Is there any other questions? Our classes 1 and 2 available for purchase. Yes, right now. Go to elevationtime.com. You'll see right on the homepage. You'll see the classes. You'll see the Body Never Lies 1 and 2, and you'll see 3, which is coming up. 1 and 2 are there as replays. All the information is there. Yes, it's there right now. The tickets for this performance that we're doing in Los Angeles are not available yet. Not available yet. But by the first of the week, I think we will have the email go out. That will be an invitation for those of you who would really like to be involved with that. That's happening soon. What else? Okay. I don't see too many questions. Okay. Good. Wow. Okay. All right. So for those of you who are ready and willing to change your state of mind, we have a lot of classes on elevation. Some of them are classes that you'll have to invest in, but there's also a lot of our past webinars that are totally free. And on our YouTube channel, there's lots of information. So go to our YouTube channel. That's Doctah B, Doctah, the letter B, and Sirius. And, subscribe. There's new music coming, and it's going to be a lot of it. There's music also on the website that you can get a download. You can play it anywhere you like. Just remember, these downloads are very big. These are huge files. Some of these pieces are 19 minutes, 25 minutes long. And that is, something that takes time to download, takes a lot of data. So you may have to open them on a computer, and then you can distribute them to your phone. But to unfold the file, to unpack it, it takes a computer. So those products are the medicine music products. Let's see. Those are at elevationtime.com. There also is a bundle of classes. Okay. There's a bundle of classes that you can pick up. There's like my favorite A-list classes that you can get. I think it's like, I forgot how many hours it is. I think it's 14 classes, all for one investment. I think it's actually might be cheaper than the price you see here. But once again, if you become a member of elevationtime.com, you will get 10% off of everything as long as you're a member. And if you use the code, what's the discount code once again? Okay. How do I get rid of this? There we go. If you use the discount code, and that discount code, which is good until Sunday at midnight for 10% off of everything, and that is Elevate Now. That is the discount code for 10% off until Sunday. And also several of the products are on sale. You'll see that on the website, and you'll get 10% off of even the sale. If you become a member, you'll receive 10% off of everything on the site from now on, as long as you're a member, and you can add that code. So now you're getting 20% off, you see, if you become a member. All right. Let's see. Yes, a lot of the music is tuned to the sacred frequencies, 432, 528, 444, 517. There's a lot of different frequencies that we're using. We started this way back. This is not new. I can see 1999 was when I started doing what they call frequency music, or this high vibrational music. And yeah. Okay, somebody says the body Never Lies is not listed. It's right on the website on the first page. Let me go there now to make sure it's there. The front page of the website, the home page. I'm now on the home page. You go down. Right after you subscribe for our newsletter, it says The Body Never Lies, Class 3. First thing you see on the website. Then it has The Body Never Lies, Class 2 and Class 1. That's on the front page of elevationtime.com. It is there. Okay. Somebody said they purchased the total body program in September. Is it still good? Yes. Up to a year. Up to a year. And this is the best time for cleansing and detoxification because the energy changes. And think about, excuse me, some of the excuse me, some of the foods people are going to be eating for the holidays are out of this world. Yes. The food situation is deep. So many foods are now carrying levels of toxins, even some of your organic stuff. You got to be careful. That's why the cleansing is important. So you can get your program now for after your Thanksgiving or your Christmas meal, because a lot of us, we're going to slip. We're not perfect. This whole thing about being perfect, it's impossible because you're still breathing the air. You're still drinking the water. You're bathing in water, unless you live in some type of, hermetically sealed dome. You're going to be out in the world. So cleansing and detoxification at a cellular level, not just your colon, not just your blood, but your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, everything from the rooter to the tutor. And now we got to also rejuvenate. So that's what the cleanse is all about. So it would be good to order now. It takes 7 business days. I got to say this. If you order from elevationtime.com, it takes 7 business days. And read what it says just before you purchase. 7 business days before your product is what? Processed. Why? Because we don't have a lot of stuff sitting on the shelves like a lot of companies. It's made fresh to keep the vibration high. It's a small boutique business. It's done by hand. That takes time. So we don't have a lot of stuff sitting around, because as it sits there, the energy level drops and drops and drops and it deteriorates. So it's fresh. It takes 7 business days, not 7 days, before we can even put it in the mail. Then it may take 3 days or more for the United States. And if you're in Canada, you're in Japan, you're in the UK, we don't even know sometimes. Some people say it took 4 weeks to get their product because we don't handle the mail. It's got to go through customs of certain countries, and they sometimes look at it and they just let it sit there. So we don't control that. So some folks call us and they're upset. Where's my package? First, make sure the day you order, you count 7 business days, not weekends, not holidays. Then if it's not, you don't see where it says this order is complete or it's processed, then you might email us and let us know, hey, my package, what's going on with it. But be patient, especially around this time of the year. Everything is slow. So be patient. Okay, can you do that? Okay, somebody said, I signed up in my account and I don't see it. Well, the course is not in your account. It's on the front page of the website. Go to the front page, the home page of our website. That's where the class is. Okay. Okay, just picked up some papaya, purple cabbage. That's very good stuff. Purple sweet potatoes. This is amazing. Yes. Christmas. We're going to be having a talk about the real Christmas. It's coming up. We may even do a real Christmas Eve celebration. We may do a whole thing on the real Christmas Eve. When is the real Christmas Eve? Is not the 5th. And some people, you say, well, I did it last year. You broke down the real Christmas. It changes every year. So we'll let you know. Make sure you're on the email list, because we may be doing a special presentation on the real Christmas Eve. And I've just tell you that day is somewhere between December 25th and up to 12 days later, sometimes 14 days later, based on this equation of starting at Good Friday. And Good Friday is not the one on your calendar. That is the one that the Catholics got you looking at. And it's Good Friday because it's the day that conception for your energy field begins. And you become born 9 months later, 270 days later, on the real Christmas Eve. And there's a whole calculation that we learned from Baba Dick Gregory and a couple other people of how to figure out this day that is the most important day of your life, when Santa oil is sacred oil, comes down the chimney, which is a space inside your brain, and drips and puts gifts on the Klaus under the tree. Your nervous system is the tree of life. If you take your nervous system and lay it out, it looks just like a Christmas tree. And your angel sits at the top, which is your pineal. No matter how calcified your pineal is, and no matter what you got going on this day, you're pumping more penoline through your system than any other day. What does penoline do? Penoline is a special sacred oil that becomes programmed by what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Whatever you're doing on that day, that oil picks that frequency up and says, this is what you like. It's like your genie. Now, some people say, well, every month is, there's this oil that comes down and goes down to 33 vertebrae. Yes, every month. But there's one day that you get more of this sacred oil than any other day, so that you don't repeat last year. And you put your goals and what you desire in your body. And there's a way to do it on the true Christmas. And if you go on elevationtime.com, we do have a video about the true Christmas, but the calculation is going to change because it changes every year. So if you'd like to be involved in a lot of those events that we have coming up, join the email list so you'll know when the real Christmas is. Okay, can you sign up and watch later? Yes, you can sign up for the class, and even these webcasts and things, they will be available later once you have signed up for them. Oh, and let me say this much. Once you go through the registration for this class, once you go through the pay window, it's going to say now sign in. Once you pay for it, that's through the card processor. It's going to take you back to a place where you still have to sign into the class. Listen carefully. Sign in means you got to put your name in there. You got to put whatever name you want to use, your email, so it can send you a notification. Then you're signed into the class. So there's two steps. One, register, which means to invest. Then you're going to go to the next step, because a lot of folks get confused. They say, well, Dr. B is asking me to pay again. No, it's asking you to register for the actual class once you have paid. So be clear, be focused, and don't wait till the last minute. A lot of folks are trying to sign up for this class the day of the class, while the class is happening. They're trying to sign in. If that's how you live life, I guess that's okay. I'd be doing this ahead of time, but be patient, take your time, and don't procrastinate. Okay. Yes. Yes, we did talk about it in the God Power, and God Power 1 and 2 is online too at our website. If you didn't take the God Power workshop with Billy Carson and myself, and that is now the #1 selling workshop in what we call the conscious community. It was so many people all over the world who were involved in that. And we'll be doing God Power 3. It looks like in the spring it's going to be live. So folks will actually be able to come to the event where there's going to be a lot of exercises. Billy's going to be showing how to do the hemisync. It's going to be a lot of information in this particular one. And we're going to do a lot of kinesiology type events. So there's kinesiology exercises too, you see. So we'll be doing that in God Power 3. So make sure you're on the email list once again, or at least get on the Forbidden Knowledge, platform, and they'll have the information over there too. My highest choice is that I'm being clear today, and I'd like to apologize for anybody if I wasn't clear with some of the things that I'm saying, because sometimes I'm moving really quickly and I'm snatching things and it's coming through and I'm channeling. So I may not be as clear to some as I am to others. And if you have more questions, then you can go to elevationtime.com, and there's sales at elevationtime.com is our email. You can see it on the website. You can ask more questions. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now somebody's saying, take care all, safety, security, and health. Do you know the word safety brings about fight or flight in your nervous system? If you say be safe, or I need to be safe, because the energy of the body says that there's something to be unsafe about. And actually we go into protection mode and your guardians come online. The word safe is a very questionable word. So sometimes we might want to say, have a happy, a joyful journey, or a healthy journey is different than be safe. We talk about that in the kinesiology course, how to say things in a way. And there will be a whole class coming up on language, conscious language, how to really use this language to the utmost, because many of us have been taught the language of empowerment, and English is a very tricky language. And you've got to know the etymology of words and how to use them. Okay. Somebody said, Vision, I've been through traumatizing events, and I think almost everybody has. Even coming down the birth canal can be traumatizing for a lot of us. Being a child in a world where we don't have, control. The news for a lot of people is a traumatizing event. A breakup, going through, even, I've had friends who've gone to college and they couldn't do anything for a year because it was so traumatizing. College can be traumatizing, So we all do have really traumatizing things, and we may think that ours is more traumatizing than someone else's. We all are going through traumatizing times. I've had some things happen to me lately that were traumatizing, but the difference is that, I'm used to processing them a certain way. And there's some things we never get over. There's a few things that I've never totally gotten over. Very traumatizing events. But that's what I use as fuel to keep pushing, to keep going, to stay focused. A diamond goes through a lot of pressure and heat to become a diamond. A master goes through many trials. The path of the master is a deep one. But you're going to be tested. It's not easy to pass some of these tests, even in school. You got to, fight and work hard and struggle, unless you know how to get in the flow state. Once you get in the flow state, everything courses. You see? Somebody said, if I sign up for the course, must I watch it live? Or you can watch it later. Once you sign up, you can watch it anytime you like. Okay. We should practice saying this before everything. In my experience, yes, this is true. Because everything I talk about is in my experience, from my perspective. And this is why I keep saying, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not saying what's wrong or what's right. This is my path that I have, used. And if you can learn from this, then learn from it. I'm not an authority on everything. Some people say, well, Dr. B, the way you speak, you don't speak proper. What is proper speaking? In a language that was created. This English language was created for war, right? For banking, for commerce, and war. Did you know that? Did you know how this language was put together and where it comes from? So many different things. So sometimes with the way we're speaking and the way we put things together, I was told once, well, Dr. B, you speak Ebonics, so a lot of people are not going to listen to you. Well, don't. What is Ebonics anyway? Is that like a racial slant? You know what I'm saying? If I was a billionaire and I talk like I talk, you would be down with me no matter what I say. Why? Oh, he's very wealthy. So that changes people's perception of you. You see? So we're not saying that everything we say is right or perfect. And we're saying it's in our experience based on what has come through Dr. B. And if you can use this, if you feel this is information that's useful for you, use it. Even with the products, if you feel they work for you, they work for you. I'm not saying that I make the best of anything. I'm not the best at anything. I have a special channel that I'm on. I am picking up information directly from Sirius. That light that's coming from the stars is coming through everybody uniquely. Diversity is very important. We're not the same. No one is the same. Strawberries don't taste the same. Cabbage don't taste the same to everybody. We're all different. We're all unique. So stop tripping. You see, be your best self. That's why the kinesiology course is so important, because it helps you be the best self for you. And the way this course is set up, it has to do with you. It's not your regular kinesiology, even using a pendulum, because we're going to talk about that too. The way your mind is and the way your chin, the way your cerebral spinal fluid is moving, your eye position, and how you ask the question is extremely important. What we're dealing with now is the biggest change that we've ever known. We got to be ready. We got to just know from within and know by heart and feel that gut feeling. But it's about being more loving and more caring and honoring ourselves. And we have to stop throwing so much shade and trying to cancel people because they told you not to like them. So much of that goes on. It creates more hatred, more division. Stop judging people. You think that you're perfect? Then throw the first stone. No one is. We're not the best at what we do. You know, you listen to some of the music that I might have, some of the Dr. B music. Does it work for you? If it doesn't, don't use it. It's okay. You see, it's about you. It's about you finding yourself, being yourself, and being your best self. Is that okay? Beautiful. So I'd like to thank you all for staying here with us today and working to become your best self. And go to our YouTube channel. And, you know, if you like to subscribe. You know, you'll get messages and notifications of new projects. We've got a bunch of new music products because music is one of the first medicines. So medicine music is something that, you know, really is helpful. Just being in that environment and creating that bath, that immersion, being immersed, is that a word? Immersed, right? In the waters of life, the fluidic space. Everything is liquid. So thank you very, very much. And my highest choice is that information that you received today is helpful. And be who you are. Allow yourself to be your best self. Allow yourself to live in love. Allow yourself to, you know, give yourself a little space. That's the final frontier, to go where no one has gone before. Allow. I'll see you on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the class, The Body Never Lies. And I'll see some of you in Los Angeles on the 8th. Make sure you're on the email list. We're going to go out with the song I Allow, which will be on our new medicine music album. It's featuring the voice of Azare. Go check her out on Instagram, Azare on Instagram. Allow yourself to be your best self. Let go and let yourself be your best self. No one's perfect. Let your leaves fall. My highest choice is that you've got information you could use, and I'll see you again soon. Dr. B, signing off. Much love to you all. This is the track called I Allow. Will be out soon on a new Medicine Music Collective 3, which will be out within the next couple months. Thank you very much. I allow myself to be my best self. To be creative. And to let go. I allow myself to live an elevated life, to stay focused and clear, always moving towards a goal. to learn, to live, and to grow. I allow myself time and space. I allow. I allow myself to feel, to express myself, and to use the talents that I possess. I allow myself to make love out of the things that are not love. I allow myself to be a creative, live in the moment. I allow. I allow. I allow. I allow. I allow myself to be authentic, transparent, open, caring, and loving. I allow myself to let go, to be free, and to plant new seeds and live the best life right now. I allow the God power within me to express itself through art, through creativity. I allow myself to plant new seeds in the garden of life. I let go. I allow. I am grateful. I am honored to allow, to be here now. Yes, I allow. I allow. I allow.